What's going on, Pathways Church? I'm Jake Collins, your middle school pastor, and I'm excited to join you for this week's Daily Dose. All this week, we're looking at biblical one-hit wonders, people who have one huge moment in the story of Scripture, but are often overshadowed by bigger names around them. We're comparing these to examples from the world of music, and we're seeing how these big moments can encourage or inspire us as followers of Christ. When I first got into listening to music from different generations, I had an image in my mind of what a one-hit wonder was. To me, these must be artists of little significance. I assumed that we would all remember the names or tunes of the songs before we could ever think of the names of the artists. I was shocked to find out that there are artists throughout the history of modern music who are huge names but are technically one-hit wonders. These range from classic rock legends like Jimi Hendrix and Lou Reed, all the way to modern groups like Weezer and the White Stripes. When I point out to others that these artists are one-hit wonders, I get a reaction like, there's no way that's true. There's a similar dynamic when we look at the one-hit wonders of Scripture. Today we turn our attention to Philip. Now, this is not the Apostle Philip. This is Philip, the one who was chosen as one of the original 7 deacons in Acts 6. Philip has become known in church history as Philip the Evangelist, so we'd expect to see several examples of evangelism in his life. But if we look at Scripture, we only see one specific example actually recorded. In Acts 8, Philip is traveling south from Jerusalem when he meets an Ethiopian who has a copy of the book of Isaiah but is unable to fully understand it. He's reading a particularly intense section of Isaiah 53 when, and we read in Acts 8:35, then Philip began with that very passage of Scripture and told him about the good news of Jesus. I love that Philip met the Ethiopian right where he was, and I mean that in both a physical and a spiritual sense. He sees that this man has a clear need, and he takes the opportunity to point him to Jesus. Philip baptizes the Ethiopian, but then we read that the Lord quickly took Philip away. He had a mission from God to accomplish elsewhere, but he made the most of this brief window of time that he had with this new believer. We only see Philip in Scripture one more time when Paul stays with him and his family. It's likely that Philip did much more evangelism, but with his one big moment, he set a great example for us to follow. He made the most of a quick interaction, he approached his audience with compassion and understanding, and he quickly connected him to the cross. I pray that all of us would have moments to do this with the people in our lives as well. That's all for today. Join me back here tomorrow as we wrap up the week on Daily Dose.